Hello, everyone. We all know you're here for the story of Lenny. We all know why you're here. You want the truth. What actually happened to Lenny? Arthur Morgan's best friend. You see, the day Arthur Morgan died, Lenny was shot. Almost like 30 minutes before Arthur died. Such a tragic. Both died on the same day, not even that long apart. Arthur Morgan was being pressured with John Marston. They were on the run from all these mean men. And out of the blue, Lenny got shot. Almost near the heart. But John's last words to her was, "Thank you." They were partners, almost like best friends. But Arthur Morgan didn't know what actually happened because he was in a rush. He could have got killed. When Lenny was dying on the ground, when Arthur said goodbye, she wasn't gone yet. She was just barely still holding on. While this crazy old villager man comes walking up. It was like 5 minutes before Arthur Morgan left. Lenny was just laying there. Luckily the man brought like a big wagon with his horses. He was like some businessman. So, he saw the horses on the ground, which was Lenny. Almost dead. Basically dead. But this man had like some type of medicine. He grabbed a torch from the back of his wagon, cauterized the wound. He heard all the gunshots, so he was in a rush. Grabbed a ton of rope, and then some friends came by to help out. They tied Lenny with rope, yanked her right onto the wagon. They took her back to camp. They took the woods though. They didn't want to get caught by the bandits. And then, apparently, the villager man helped Lenny, stitched her up, saved her. But apparently he was a little crazy.
Hey, mister! Help me!
He wasn't all there. As I was saying, the man was a little crazy. Wasn't always there. Almost like he had a split personality problem. The man wanted to fatten her up, get her all muscle. He exercised her every day, whipped her. Terrible for a poor little girl like Lenny. He'd whip her for about 10 minutes. She'd be in so much pain he'd have to stop. So he fed her, fattened her up a little bit. Because why he was doing that? He was trying to make her miserable. Then the more fat she got, he was going to eat her. She was in a barn. She was smart. When she was in her little pen, she saw a corpse, skeleton. It was a bunch of horses, bones from years and years. They were displayed like they were trophies. So she already knew what was going on. Smart horse. Smartest there could have ever been. So when the farmer came back, he opened up her pen. She kicked him so hard that he didn't even get back up. He could have been dead, but she didn't know, because she ran off. A few hours later, she went back to the scene where Arthur said goodbye to her. And from there on out, she followed his trail. And then, a tragic moment happened after that. She saw blood. She sniffed it. She knew what the scent was instantly in a heartbeat. Went up on these mountains. And there it was. She saw Arthur Morgan's body. He was gone. But then she still had some scent left. From her food, Arthur's materials and equipment, and the one thing she could smell was the hat. So she followed that scent for miles and miles, and eventually, she found it. She saw it on John Marston. But before she found John Marston, she stuck with Arthur for almost 30 minutes. Just sat by his corpse, just looking at him. She couldn't leave. It was hard. But then, we had a little visit from an old friend. But that is unknown. John Marston found Lenny, or Lenny found her. It was one of the two, but John Marston knew what was right. He kept her, and her adventure still goes on. The night Lenny almost died by a man who tried saving her. Couldn't believe it. Who saves an animal, then a few days later tries killing her? Makes no sense. Good thing she got out, because she still has a long life to live. The person who buried Arthur Morgan will always and forever be unknown. Who came up and buried him? Could have been Charles. Could have been John Marston. Could have been Sadie. Or Uncle. Or is Dutch such a crazy fucking man? Went back there later and buried him? He was a traitor. A rat. But let's move on. Lenny was very sad at first when she found John. Didn't treat him the same like they did with Arthur, like their same bond. She didn't like him at first. But the more John took care of her and treated her with respect, they almost had the same bond as Arthur Morgan and Lenny. From this day, Lenny is still alive. Still living with John Marston and his family, his shitty wife, and his horrible, ungrateful, spoiled son. She hates Jack so much. She wishes she could kick him in the stomach just like she did the farmer who kidnapped her. But she knows she can't, because that'll cost her life. But anyways, Lenny is taking Arthur Morgan's footsteps, continuing the journey he was before her. Since he is gone, she will return with him soon. And that is the story of Lenny Morgan. Her adventure still goes on.